about the importance of getting rid of debt, because I think that in order to be able to invest, in order to be able to do things you need to do, you need to become debt free. I'm a student of Dave Ramsey. I'm not sure if you know who Dave Ramsey is, and he talks a lot about becoming debt free.
I just know Gordon
And
Ramsay.
all I know is that I had like $30,000 in credit card debt, and then I paid off all that credit card debt, and I saved myself about $700 a month that I was paying on credit card debt, and I was able to use that money to make investments. And I tell that story a lot because it's so meaningful for me to be able to begin my journey becoming financially free. Could you talk a little bit about what it means to you to be financially free and opportunities, especially in the Black community, that we can have? I mean, I'm not sure if I told you guys, but Tina is a teacher. She teaches in New York City.
A counselor. Thank you very much.
Sorry, she's a counselor.
I'm a teacher. I'm in the classroom, but I am a counselor. I'm a counselor first because I am certified, but I am in the classroom, so I'm a teacher. So I'm both. But I prefer counselor.
And she works in the New York City public school system and in Harlem, right? In Harlem?
Charter school, but it's fine. Oh, in Harlem.
Is that not in public school?
So public for us African American men, women, Latino, Black and brown people, what would you tell them what would you tell the senior class graduating about wealth and fitness and the importance of wealth and fitness? I don't know if I told you, but I'm about to write a book about my wealth and fitness journey. I didn't tell my YouTubers now that follow me is finding this out now, but I'm going for a total body transformation, and I want to begin my journey and writing my document and writing my book. Right? What would you tell the graduating class, seniors, about wealth and fitness?
Well, first I would say I have started telling my juniors about credit score, because credit score is very important. I want to talk about this documentary I was watching last night with the Bloods and Crips and what was going on back in the 70s. And it gave me a different outlook as to, all the drug selling, all the gang banging, all the shooting. A lot of these young gang members, they did not have a male figure in their homes, right? So therefore, mama had to go out and work long hours, and guess who was watching them? No one. The streets was watching them. They looked to the streets to take care of them, or they needed that, that structure, or whatever the case may be. So I was watching a documentary, and it was talking about, okay, so I'm over here trying to provide. If we didn't have all these opportunities like we have today, right? Mm-hmm. So they were talking about industrial jobs, factories, GMC, Firehouse, all them companies that was open back in the 60s, 50s, or whatever, 40s. And then they just recently started disappearing. Therefore, it wasn't that many jobs for us minority students. I'm minority kids, right? So therefore, where do you think they turned? To the streets, right? Lack of education, so we weren't able to get jobs. But I'm going to say this. You need to work on getting your credit score up. Because, listen, some parents, open up things in their children's names and, they mess up their credit before they even get a chance. But your credit score is the most important thing to your name. It's up there with your social security number. So, therefore, that's one thing you need to stay focused on. Two, let's talk about the snowball effect. If you are in debt, right?
Talk, girl.
The snowball effect is, let's just say you have a few credit card bills, and one credit card bill is $500. Then the rest of them are over $500. You start off with the one that you owe the least, which is the $500 one. You pay that one off first, and then you work towards the next bill. And you always want to make sure that your credit card utilization is under 35%. If you have it under 35%, you're gonna have a good credit score. But if you use majority of the credit line, then your credit is gonna suck. Right. And you always want to make sure that you pay your credit cards or whatever finances you have on time. It could be car payment, credit cards, mortgage, rent, whatever. Because if you don't pay that on time, then that can affect your credit score. But definitely make sure that you stay on your credit score, because that's the most important thing. And I don't think they really taught me that when I was in high school, about when you graduate, this is what you need to focus on. And if those of you students that are going away to college or going to college, just make sure that you understand what you signing. Them refund checks ain't really free money. You have to pay that back. It's free money while you're in school, but you still have to pay those loans back. And I understand that, some of us young people have to survive while we're in college. I get that. But understand that whatever money you take back from the school, that's the money that you have to pay back later on in life. So, just be smart about those decisions and what loans you take out, because you can forever be in debt. And just make sure you find money for college if you're trying to go,
Right.
because no one wants to graduate with thousands of dollars of debt, and that's what my generation is. We graduated with a lot of debt, student loans.
So Tina, and no disrespect to anybody out there who's studying African American studies and all these other different majors. Let me tell y'all something. Don't go to school studying a major
that you won't be able to get a job in.
Exactly. And I think a lot of students are I think they listen to the ideology of, study what you want to study. I want to study this. I want to study grasshopper, whatever. I want to study
what the need is in the future. What's going to be the need? For example, I don't mean to cut you off, but I do.
No,
want
go
to
ahead.
Talk about,
talk your shit, because I think this is important.
I want to talk about before I graduated, my school, which is the Virginia State University. I am an alumni. I was doing an internship at a school in Petersburg. That's where Virginia State University is located at, Petersburg High School. And they had, I was in class, and they had a group of students from Virginia State agriculture program come in and speak about agriculture. Now, they taught me something that day. So I did not know that agriculture was also about the business aspect. It's not just about milking cows and fishing and things like that. Because where do you think we get our clothes from? That's cotton. So in this agriculture, you can make extremely a lot of money in agriculture. It's definitely different avenues to agriculture, but that's nothing that they don't really educate you about agriculture in the school system. So nursing, if you public service jobs, let's just say, obviously we are in a new era now, COVID era, right? So therefore we're going to need more nurses. So think about the jobs that are going to open up in the future, especially for students who are graduating within the next few years. There's always going to be a need for teachers. As you can see, a lot of teachers left because of COVID, so I mean, also you need the credentials for teaching, but teachers do not make a lot of money. And it also depends on what state you live in. But you also want to be mindful of a job that's going to provide you with security benefits, life insurance, pension, all of that. But I also want to touch on that. Let's just say you're a student and you don't want to go to college. Like, listen, college is not it. You don't want to go to school. Okay, we got a plan for you. So if you don't want to go to school, okay, what's your plan? Because you can't stay on your mother's couch all day. Right. So you need to be able to, let's not forget about them city jobs. If you in New York City, you could take those city jobs exams, if you pass, or sometimes you got to wait on a waiting list, or whatever the case may be. If you work there for like 20, 25 years, right, you could retire with a pension and still get another job. You could do that right out of high school.
A lot of people don't realize that if you invest at least 15 or more % into your income into your retirement, and you do a job like that, you could actually retire almost a millionaire.
And let's talk about plumbing, like plumbing. Let's talk about plumbing, because a lot of times people look down on those type of jobs. Those are called blue collar jobs, right?
Right.
Blue collar jobs like manual labor. You don't need degrees for those, but you do need certificates for some of them. Blue collar jobs are jobs that you can get like certifications in. For example, plumbing. It's money in that field. You can even start your own business. A lot of money in that field. But some people don't want to get dirty, and that's fine. But if they train you to do the job, you can get the job done, and you can also start your own business from that.
Right.
As you walk across that stage, right? Soon as you walk across that stage, it's going to hit you like, okay, what am I going to do? What's my plan? Just make sure you have a decent credit score. Like, that's number one. Do not start off getting all these credit cards and you don't have a job to pay them back, because that's how you get yourself in debt. Also, what it is that you want to do. Don't do it because your mom is telling you or your dad is telling you this is what you need to do. Because let me tell you something, honey, if you go to a job or you go to school because you got all your people telling you, oh, you need to go to school. No, you need to go to school because you want to go to school, because you're going to better your life. Don't go to school because your mother, your dad, your auntie, cousin, or whoever is telling you
this is important,
you need
guys.
to go to school. Because at the end of the day, guess who's going to be in debt? You are. And guess who's not going to finish school? You not. And guess who's not going to get that degree? You not. But guess who's going to not finish and have loans?
Tina, talk about the importance of that student loan debt. And I think that student loan debt is killing a lot of people with their credit score.
We are in when I say
I did a video about that. I said, what was it? Yeah, it's $1 trillion in debt, of student loan debt. And I think that the narrative that we say and we taught our kids is that go to college, get an education, and they didn't realize that, wait a minute, I got to pay all this debt. Before I even had I got 60,000. Some people got 100 and better thousand. What would you tell them about fitness?
Listen, stay healthy, because guess what? COVID is taking everybody out. And now that we have this new thing of COVID, and this is a new era in 2021, it's a new decade, just make sure you you're aware of your health and your status and everything, because listen, you could be healthy and you catch COVID. If you don't take the vaccine, you could die. We lost so many people last year due to COVID. So just make sure that you are taking care of you, going to your doctor's appointments, eating right or whatever, exercising, and getting your mind right. Because, just because if you eat the wrong things, you could die from stress. Stress because you can't pay your bills. Stress because you don't know how to make ends meet, because life is hard out here. And this is not 1970 where we could live off $100 for 2 weeks and we be good. Listen, this is 2021. Gas is the milk. A carton of milk is damn near $5. So therefore, y'all need to make smarter decisions, students, the upcoming generation. Because I need y'all to take care of me. Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
And that's all I want to say. Excuse me, but I'm a little intoxicated. And earlier I was discussing business, but now we at a restaurant. I'm having fun.
Alright, we're about to do a shot. Yo, Tino, say hi. Say hi.
We at Happy Daughters. Look at the Christmas tree. I ordered me some peri shrimp with pumpkin rice, and I ordered me some jerk chicken